Ah, the internet. A glorious digital landscape full of cat videos, questionable life advice, and unfortunately, scammers lurking around every corner like pigeons eyeing your unattended baguette. And much like those pigeons, these scammers are relentless, opportunistic, and always looking for their next mark. We live in a world where technology evolves faster than your Uncle Gary trying to understand how to use emojis. And you know who loves exploiting that? Scammers. They thrive on confusion, preying on the unsuspecting and the uninformed. That's why we're here. Knowledge, my friends, is power. So consider this your crash course in scam foo. We're diving deep into the murky world of online deception, arming you with the knowledge you need to spot a scam from a mile away and, more importantly, avoid becoming another statistic. Buckle up, Buttercup. It's about to get real. What is a scam, you ask? Well, imagine this. You're walking down the street minding your own business, when suddenly someone in a cheap suit and a shiftier smile approaches you. They promise you the world, untold riches, a lifetime supply of discounted socks, a timeshare in Atlantis, which, spoiler alert, is still underwater. Sounds too good to be true? That's because it is. That, my friend, is the essence of a scam, a deceptive scheme, a wolf in sheep's clothing, a digital Trojan horse designed to part you from your hard-earned cash, or worse, your identity. Now, these digital con artists are a creative bunch, always coming up with new and inventive ways to pull the wool over your eyes. But fear not, for beneath their tricks and traps lies a common thread, a pattern we can learn to recognize. Let's start with the classics, shall we? Phishing emails, those seemingly innocent messages from your bank asking for your account details. Remember, your bank already has your information. They don't need you to send it via a link riddled with more red flags than a Soviet military parade. Then there's the fake tech support call. Your computer's infected, they cry, but don't worry, for a small fee, they can cleanse your hard drive of this digital plague. The only problem? The only virus present is the scammer on the other end of the line. And who could forget the seductive allure of romance scams? Lonely hearts seeking connection online, only to be swept off their feet by a charming rogue who's more interested in their bank balance than their heartstrings. It's like online dating, but instead of finding true love, you find your credit card maxed out on questionable purchases. These are just a few examples in a vast sea of digital deceit. But remember, forewarned is forearmed. By understanding the mechanics of a scam, we can start to build our defenses and avoid falling prey to these digital predators. All right, recruits, time to sharpen those scam-detecting senses. Just like a seasoned detective can spot a counterfeit Rolex from across the room, we're going to equip you with the skills to identify the telltale signs of a scam. First up, unsolicited requests. Whether it's an email from a Nigerian prince promising you a fortune or a phone call from a government official demanding immediate payment, remember this. Legitimate organizations don't operate like a late-night infomercial. Next, let's talk pressure tactics. Scammers are masters of urgency, creating a false sense of panic to cloud your judgment. They'll demand immediate action, threatening dire consequences if you don't comply. Remember, a legitimate organization will never pressure you into making hasty decisions, especially when it comes to your personal information or finances. And of course, no scam would be complete without the promise of easy money. Whether it's a get-rich-quick scheme or an investment opportunity that sounds too good to be true, remember, if it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck, wearing a fake mustache and trying to sell you swampland. Let's illustrate this with a real-life example, shall we? Picture this. You receive an email congratulating you on winning a lottery you don't remember entering. To claim your prize, all you need to do is provide your bank details and pay a small processing fee. Sounds fishy? That's because it is. This, my friends, is a classic example of a scam in action. The unsolicited contact, the promise of easy money, the request for personal information. It's a symphony of red flags orchestrated to separate you from your hard-earned cash. Remember, scammers are like cockroaches. They thrive in the dark. Shine a light on their tactics and they'll scurry back to the digital shadows. Be wary, be informed, and above all, trust your gut. If something feels off, it probably is. Now that we've covered the basics, let's delve into the intricate world of scams, shall we? Because, believe me, these digital con artists are a diverse bunch, with a scam tailored for every taste, like a fraudulent buffet of despair. We'll start with the online arena, a playground for scammers of all shapes and sizes. Here, you'll encounter everything from phishing emails designed to steal your login credentials to fake online shopping websites that take your money and run faster than a cheetah on a caffeine bender. Then there's the telephone, a tool as old as time, repurposed by scammers to wreak havoc on unsuspecting victims.
This is the IRS calling. You owe back taxes and must pay immediately to avoid legal action.
The IRS impersonation scam is a classic, a menacing voice on the other end of the line, threatening legal action if you don't pay a fictitious tax bill immediately. Remember, the IRS communicates through official channels, not through threatening phone calls.
Congratulations, you've won $1 million in our lottery. Just send us a small processing fee to claim your prize.
And let's not forget the good old-fashioned in-person scams, proving that even in the digital age, some things never go out of style. These range from door-to-door con artists peddling miracle cures and bogus investment opportunities to charming individuals who prey on your good nature, spinning elaborate sob stories to swindle you out of your hard-earned cash. One particularly insidious example is the lottery scam we touched upon earlier. These scams often target vulnerable individuals, promising them life-changing wealth if they just hand over a small processing fee or their bank details to claim their winnings. Another common scam involves fake charities soliciting donations for causes that tug at your heartstrings. While legitimate charities rely on donations, they won't pressure you into making a contribution or demand payment in unusual ways, like gift cards or wire transfers. And then there's the granddaddy of them all, the investment scam. These schemes promise sky-high returns with minimal risk, preying on people's desire to grow their wealth. Remember, if an investment opportunity sounds too good to be true, it probably is. The world of scams is vast and ever-evolving, but by understanding the different types of scams and their modus operandi, we can better equip ourselves to avoid becoming a victim. Now I know what you're thinking. John, this all sounds very scary, but surely these scams only work on the, shall we say, less discerning among us. And to that I say, my friend, you would be wrong. Dead wrong. Scammers are masters of manipulation, skilled at exploiting our emotions, vulnerabilities, and even our better nature. They don't discriminate. They target everyone from tech-savvy millennials to seasoned citizens, leaving a trail of financial and emotional devastation in their wake.
Don't just take my word for it. Let's hear from some individuals who've been through the ringer, who've stared into the abyss of a scam and lived to tell the tale. Their stories are cautionary reminders that anyone can fall victim to a well-crafted con. Meet Sarah, a single mother who fell prey to a romance scam. Lonely and longing for connection, she met a charming man online who swept her off her feet with grand promises and even grander declarations of love. He showered her with attention, showering her with compliments and showering her with, well, nothing, because he wasn't real. He was a phantom, a figment of digital imagination designed to extract money from Sarah, who, blinded by infatuation, wired him thousands of dollars before realizing the cruel truth.
Then there's Tom, a retired teacher who received a frantic phone call from someone claiming to be his grandson. The caller, his voice trembling with distress, explained he was in trouble, arrested in a foreign country and in desperate need of bail money. Tom, a loving grandfather, wired a significant sum of money, desperate to help his beloved grandson. Of course, the call was a hoax, the grandson a scammer preying on Tom's love and concern. These stories are just a glimpse into the devastating impact of scams. The financial losses can be crippling, but the emotional toll, the betrayal, the shame, the erosion of trust can be even more profound. But amidst the heartbreak and despair, there's a glimmer of hope. By sharing their stories, these individuals are turning their pain into a powerful weapon against scammers. They're raising awareness, educating others, and ensuring that their experiences serve as a cautionary tale for others. Remember, you are not alone. If you've fallen victim to a scam, know that it doesn't define you. There is no shame in being deceived. The real shame lies with the scammers who exploit our trust for their own gain. All right, team, enough with the doom and gloom. It's time to arm ourselves with the knowledge and tools to fight back against these digital desperados. Think of this as your self-defense class against the dark arts of scamming.
First and foremost, let's talk about verification. In the digital age, trust should never be a given. It needs to be earned. So, before you hand over any personal information, whether it's your bank details, your social security number, or your mother's maiden name, take a moment to verify the source. Is that email from your bank really from your bank? Or is it a phishing attempt cleverly disguised to steal your login credentials? Check the sender's email address, look for grammatical errors, hover over any links before clicking to ensure they lead to legitimate websites. When in doubt, contact the organization directly using their official contact information. Next up, let's talk passwords. I know, remembering 1,000,000 different passwords is about as enjoyable as a root canal, but trust me, it's crucial. Strong, unique passwords are your first line of defense against unauthorized access. Use a combination of upper and lowercase letters, numbers, and symbols. And for the love of all that is holy, avoid using password 23 for everything. And while we're on the subject of security, let's talk about two-factor authentication. Think of it as a digital bodyguard for your accounts, adding an extra layer of protection. Even if a scammer gets hold of your password, they won't be able to access your account without the second verification factor, typically a code sent to your phone or email. Now let's say, despite your best efforts, you find yourself on the receiving end of a scam. What do? First, don't panic. Contact the appropriate authorities, such as the Federal Trade Commission or your local police department. Report the scam, provide as much information as possible, and seek guidance on how to mitigate any potential damage. Remember, knowledge is power. Share this video with your friends, family, and that one neighbor who always falls for those too good to be true deals. Together, we can create a safer digital landscape, one scam at a time.
Well, folks, there you have it. A crash course in the wild, wacky, and often infuriating world of scams. We've journeyed into the depths of deception, unmasked the tactics of these digital con artists, and armed ourselves with the knowledge and tools to fight back. Remember, scammers are like cockroaches. They're persistent, adaptable, and always finding new ways to weasel their way into our lives. But unlike cockroaches, we have the power to outsmart them, to deny them the satisfaction of another victory. Stay vigilant, my friends. Be wary of unsolicited requests. Be skeptical of promises that sound too good to be true. And never ever give out your personal information unless you're absolutely certain of the source. Remember those red flags we talked about? Keep them at the forefront of your mind like a mental checklist before you click on a link, respond to an email, or answer a phone call. If something feels off, trust your gut. It's better to err on the side of caution than to become another statistic in the ever-growing saga of scams. But our work isn't done yet. The fight against scammers is an ongoing one, a collective effort that requires all of us to be informed, vigilant, and proactive. Share your experiences, share your knowledge, and share this video with anyone you think might benefit from a healthy dose of scam prevention wisdom. Remember, the more we know about scams, the less likely we are to fall victim to them. So let's turn the tables on these digital con artists, expose their tricks, and create a safer, more secure online world for everyone. And as always, stay informed, stay vigilant, and stay safe out there. Because in the immortal words of the great bard William Shakespeare, neither a borrower nor a lender be, for loan oft loses both itself and friend, and borrowing dulls the edge of husbandry. Okay, maybe that wasn't the most relevant Shakespeare quote, but hey, the point still stands. Protect yourself from scams, people. Well, that's it for today's deep dive into the world of scams. Remember, knowledge is power, and by arming yourself with the information in this video, you're one step ahead of those digital con artists. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more scam-busting content, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Until next time, stay vigilant, stay informed, and remember, don't let the scammers win.